We're here live with Thinker Ventures What Works videocast. Now, normally we do this as a podcast, but today we have the inaugural opportunity to be on video live streaming to you through YouTube. Now, today we also are here with Colin Simpson, who is president of Imperien, a design, build, construction services firm. So we're excited to talk to him. Now, Colin, welcome.
Thanks a lot for having me on, Jason.
It is so exciting to have you here. Now,
it is.
It wasn't all that long ago that you actually started Imperien. How long ago was that?
Just this last fall. In August, I actually came in and met with you and put this thing together, and it's been going really well so far. We're really excited.
And as of this taping, we're here in February. So so August, September,
about 6 months
October,
now, yeah.
November, 6 months.
Yeah. And
it's been going really good. And you got an office next door to us and all sorts of cool things.
We're having a lot of fun.
That's cool. So talk to us. For those of us who are new to the construction services or entities, what is a construction services company?
So what we do is provide the overarching management of a large construction project. So we find a lot of clients are worried about putting together a project because you have to bring together an electrician and a plumber and a designer and put all those pieces together. And that's what we do. We package all that together into a contract for somebody, and we take care of the overall project as one turnkey package.
So if I were to be expanding my facility, let's say I'm a manufacturer, I'm looking to expand, I've got new machines I'm going to be putting in there, I would call you first in that process?
We really encourage clients to call us first before they call an architect or a designer. The reason is that we can provide budgeting and scheduling throughout the entire design process and allow the client to know, are we on the right track or not? If you just hire an architect to start out with, you can end up with a full set of blueprints, and maybe in the end that's not quite the project you wanted, and maybe you can't afford it. So if you budget it and schedule it out with a contractor to begin with, that way you know all the way through that it's exactly the project that you wanted.
That reminds me of when I was a kid. I used to make drawings for my future homes, and I had a drawing that my mother teased me about this a little bit. I had a drawing with a place for my parents in there. It had a basketball court somewhere in that massive mansion of mine. It also had laser turrets on the outside,
of course,
in case
right?
you need in case you need to shoot people as they come in. Because, who doesn't need to shoot people when they come in? So you're saying if you go to a traditional route where you might go to an architect first, then you're going to be designing something. The budget might get out of hand, but you haven't even talked about whether that can be built.
You don't even know yet.
Okay.
And so you end up with this set of plans that maybe needs to be reworked from scratch. If we work with the client from the get-go as a partnership between a designer and an architect and the builder, along with the client, that three-way relationship we can have from the very get-go and know that that client is getting exactly what they want from day one.
That's pretty cool.
It is.
So what makes you qualified to do this whole design, build, construction services company?
I'm a civil engineer by trade, and I've been in a few different fields in the construction industry with heavy civil, working for a few different municipalities around here, and the last few years I've been working in general industrial construction in the Rockford area. And so we really try to package that together specifically for the manufacturers and commercial businesses in the area, because we know the Rockford area and we know the market here, and I think it really acts as an advantage for these clients.
Now, this process of starting a company, it must be a little bit terrifying, right? I mean, you were already working in the construction services field, right? And now you're going to break off on your own. Walk us through that process. How did you work through the complexities of that decision?
I had been thinking about it for a little while, and I have a really tremendous business partner and wife, and Carrie Zethmeyer, who recently broke out and started her own company.
Yeah, she had struck out on her own too.
She did.
Yeah.
So she's doing site selection and incentive negotiation. And after I saw her do it, she kind of surrounded herself with a really great team of friends and partners. And I thought, you know what? It's not so bad. And so, to be honest, I thought maybe I'd be terrified in this process, but genuinely I haven't been. I've had a really great team of folks working with me, between Thinker, doing my branding, and my wife with doing the business startup and all the business background. We've had Brian McIntyre with Thames Management, who helped us do some of the more procedural things to start up the business. It's been really a great ride starting this out, and I honestly have not been terrified one bit.
Really? Now,
Yeah.
now I recall a conversation with you at one point in time where you were talking about your personality, how you have kind of this no-fear personality. You're just going to, hey, yeah, absolutely, let's do this. We're just going to storm the gates. You still feel invigorated like that?
The market has been really tremendous right now. This has been a great time to do this. The industrial market in town in particular is going really great right now, and there's a lot of clients out there that are looking to expand their business. And so when a manufacturer in town wants to expand, that's exactly the type of client that we're looking for. And so there's a lot of business out there, and we're really trying to help as many folks as possible.
Now, this market that we're talking about, this is the Rockford region, which for those of you who are listening to us, Rockford's about what do you say, 60 miles, 70 miles, probably west of Chicago.
West of Chicago market, yeah.
And maybe an hour south of Madison. So we're right up in the northern Illinois territory. But Rockford's kind of a big, small town. There have been a lot of companies here for a long time and very little competition. So as I remember us having another conversation, we were talking about some of these companies have been around for 100 years.
Absolutely. The average age of my direct competitors in the Rockford area here is over 80 years. There's several companies that have been in business for over 100 years. And so, facing those guys down as, the new guy on the block, initially you think, boy, this is going to be tough, but I think we offer a really great new perspective on how to accomplish these projects. Offer some technology and, fresh set of eyes for some of the clients in town here that we can offer some new services that other guys aren't.
So that's interesting that you bring that up, that you can offer a new perspective. What do you think are some elements of that new perspective, and how does that play out for your clients, and what kind of benefits will they experience?
We've really been looking at these clients as kind of partners in the project. Most of my projects don't start out with pricing. They start out with helping the client figure out what is that right project. And a traditional general contractor of the old days would just grab a set of plans, they'd throw a price on it and say, well, do you want me to build this or don't you? Here's the price. We've been working with these clients throughout the process of their project from day one. And so we help them figure out, do you need 10,000 square feet? Do you need an expansion of your building? Do you need a whole new building? Maybe is Rockford the right choice, or is there a spot up in Loves Park?
Wow.
We're helping to make those decisions with the clients and really make sure that their project is successful as possible. And it really, really helps those folks with their business. They don't have time in their management day to sit there and worry about a project like that, and they don't have the ability to have a project fail on them. And so by being involved from the beginning, I think it's really helping us help these clients out and ensure their success long term. So
these clients that are coming to you, characterize what those clients might look like. How big are they? How many employees? What size facilities? What size expansions? Who's the real target for what you're talking about?
We're targeting both commercial and industrial, but our real core market is going to be small to mid-size industrial and manufacturing clients. Those guys, for the most part, are running a lathe during the day and doing the books at night. They don't have time to worry about a big expansion project.
Yeah.
They don't have the ability and they don't have the expertise to know good from bad on these projects. So by giving them a more turnkey package and letting them hand over that project to us, we can free them of that time. A lot of manufacturers don't realize the value of their time during the day.
Yeah.
That if you're out there trying to run your business and make widgets, distracting, every hour you spend away from that to work on a construction project is an hour that you're not focusing on running your business. That's very expensive. And so we're really trying to focus on these small to mid-sized manufacturers that I think are really underserved in our market. There's some what we call alternative delivery methods that can be offered to these clients.
Okay.
So
what is that?
Different types of contracts that are structured in different ways to help clients in some kind of unconventional ways. And so one of them we would call DesignBuild. So instead of just hiring an architect and then hiring a general contractor, you can run the design and the construction both through us. We would manage that entire process through one contract. That allows the client to have one point of contact for the entire project. If you've got a problem of any kind or a piece of input of any kind, you just call me and I take care of the entire problem from design through construction and completion. There's also some new, more innovative types of contracts out there that are really new to the market, especially in Rockford. One of them we call collaborative contracting, where you'd sign a three-way contract between a designer, a contractor, and a client. And so it's a team all working together contractually to get that project done as efficiently as possible. And a lot of these alternative contracts really aren't being offered to the small and medium-sized business in town. And so we're trying to offer those pieces up to them. Our overhead is so low that we can be efficient enough to offer those to small clients. So no matter the size of the project, whether you're doing a little renovation inside of your building, an expansion, or a whole new facility in a greenfield, we can offer those to these clients and give you a lot better bang for your buck on a project.
Now, as of this live stream, the Super Bowl just happened, which is always a fascinating event. One of the things that impresses me about a team that can win is the roles that everybody plays. So you've got the coach, and you got the offensive coach, and you got the defensive coach, and then you got the quarterback, and then you got the running back and the tailback and the tight end, right? You got all these people playing all these parts. If you were to characterize the role that you play and other people play in construction, how would you characterize it are you the quarterback? Are you the coach? Are you the...
I'm the coach.
Okay.
I am not necessarily drawing the blueprints myself.
Okay.
I find the right people and the experts to bring in for that exact project with this exact team. I don't have a hammer in my hand. I'm not the one, putting nails in the boards. I find the right team to piece together for that particular project. So it really becomes a custom packaged team for that particular project. So just like a coach, coming up with a game plan for that game, for who you're playing this weekend. It really works out really well by having someone look at that big picture and piece that together specifically for that project.
Now, we do want to remind our listeners, viewers, that if you have a question that you want to ask during this live stream, you're absolutely welcome to ask that question there in the live stream, and we're happy to answer that. I know that Colin's got all sorts of questions or answers to questions because he's the guy in the hot seat sitting across from a potential client when a potential client's saying, yeah, everybody says they can do this, but are you really the group that can? And this is great. I love that you're going through this. Now, the trends in the industry of construction, manufacturing, the economy as a whole is kind of on the uptick. Mm-hmm. Still, I mean, it's really remarkable that's going on for so long. And then some people are thinking this thing might taper off in, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years from now. And who knows what's going to happen? But what industry trends do you see in terms of construction and the need for, let's say, these services of being a coach? Are we seeing construction as a whole is up? Are we seeing that people are looking for that kind of coach as part of the process? Where are we at?
We're seeing a mix right now of both services on the uptick. So I have several clients on the commercial end that are providing services more than products. And they're really on the uptick right now. They're going gangbusters. The other piece are the small to mid-sized manufacturers. Those guys are just so busy, they don't know what to do with themselves. And that's actually kind of been the problem in the construction industry right now, is that a lot of these clients, they're so busy figuring out how to pump out one more widget a day and become more efficient to keep up with all these orders. They don't know how to go about getting into a construction project because they're so busy. How do I take time out of my day to make these phone calls and manage this project? So it's been really a big advantage for us to be able to offer those services because these clients they're so busy right now with these orders, they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, it is. And we're kind of seeing that trend across a lot of different industries, and that's interesting to me that you're seeing it as well in construction. Because it does seem like you're simplifying that process quite a bit for that small and mid-size owner who, like you say, is getting up in the morning, doing some administrative stuff, maybe doing some production stuff during the day, maybe doing accounting at night, doing some HR, trying to figure out how to make ends meet, and also maybe seeing an influx of orders due to the great economy, and then, oh my gosh, now we got to expand. And what was remarkable to me is that you're asking the question not like, hey, what size building do you want, Mr. Owner? Okay, fine, we'll go build that. But you're even asking a question prior to that, which is what size building is going to be suitable for the type of need that you think you have. So you're actually backing up into some sort of business case for the construction.
In some cases, we're actually doing a 5 or 10 or 20-year business plan with a client. So looking at, if you're going to go to the expense of putting up a building, well, let's see, where are you going 10 years from now? Where are you going 20 years from now? Let's make a space that, don't necessarily build that building for 20 years down the road, but what you're building today, let's have it make sense for what you're going to expand into tomorrow. There's too many folks that have put up a building that they thought was right for today, and immediately, the week after they move in, they realize, oh, shoot, I got this big order coming in. I got to expand again. We see that all the time.
Yeah.
And I think something that's been a real advantage for us in the market here is that I have, with my wife having her company, Zethmeyer, she's offering site selection and incentive negotiation as part of the package.
Okay.
And a lot of people
which is what? Well, for a small and medium-sized organization, run with their head cut off. What is that?
A lot of companies are looking to expand, but they don't know exactly where to do that. In some cases, it's a matter of in town finding the piece of land that you want to build your next facility on. Maybe they want to stay in the Midwest. Maybe they want to shop around some of the towns in the area to see what offers them the most incentivized location to set up shop in.
Incentives like tax incentives?
Incentives, grant money, tax abatements. There's a whole wide variety of incentives out there that are available to different businesses that are looking to expand and grow.
And that's because one town, towns are kind of competitive with one another like businesses are competitive.
They are, and state to state.
Yeah.
The deals vary greatly between different states, and a lot of companies will cross a state line because they get a much better deal on the other side of the line. Some of these clients are even looking nationwide of how do I find the town with the right feel, with the right population, with the right workforce, with the right education. They're looking for all these different pieces on where to locate. So it's both from a local level and a national level, figuring out where to locate your new investment. And with those incentives, I think we're able to make a lot of projects happen where otherwise they might not. So we can help, not necessarily fund a project from scratch, but if there's a project that is on the edge of, maybe we can't make this happen or maybe we can't make it happen here, we've got some tools available to help the clients make that happen where they need to and make the best investment possible.
Okay, so I'm not an expert in what you're doing by any stretch. It would seem to me that process of not only asking the business owner, helping them through the business case for what they're looking to expand into, but then also trying to determine where they should go, it would seem to me that is not normal construction services type of work. No.
For, time immemorial, they've been doing the same thing of, grabbing a set of plans and here's the price and this is what you're going to do. It doesn't work anymore. A lot of these clients, they need more information. You have to be really smart about where you're locating, how you're building your building, because to make a mistake in that process and to over or under invest, it can cost you big time, some cases in the millions down the road. And so we really try and get these businesses on the right track for a long-term plan on how are you going to expand into this space and how are you going to further grow your business down the road. It just makes business sense for all these manufacturers to do that.
That's awesome. Now, Zethmeyer, walk us through this. You have your wife in this business, Carrie. She's fantastic.
She sure is.
I mean, if she wasn't, we wouldn't say so.
Yeah, I know, right?
Not on a live stream.
She might be watching.
That's right. I don't know what you're having for dinner, but if you need to come over. So she's integral to this process as well because she offers those site selection services and things that are complementary to this process.
She does, and it's been a really great team so far.
Yeah.
We're working in the same office together, and so what we're able to do is with some of these construction contracts, we can get somebody site selection all the way through construction, including design and incentives and the budgeting and the scheduling. We can get that all put together into one single contract, one turnkey package for folks that they're not going to get that anywhere else. There isn't any other construction firm out in this entire region that offers that site selection and incentive negotiation as part of that package.
That's awesome. Well, it has been a real pleasure having you on the What Works video cast.
That's
our
right.
inaugural
number
video
one,
cast.
right?
Number one. And truly, I've enjoyed the time that we've gotten to know each other, and I'm thankful that you were here for today. If someone wants to get a hold of you, where do they do this?
You can find us at Imperien.com, Imperien.com, and email me at Colin@Imperien.com.
Awesome. Well, this has been the inaugural version of the What Works video cast. You can catch the podcast every Tuesday on Google Play and iTunes, and you can catch this video cast online on the Thinker Ventures YouTube channel. Subscribe at the link. Also, Midwest Manufactured Live. You can subscribe at MidwestManufactured.com. If you would like to be on the What Works video cast or Midwest Manufactured Live, or you know somebody who should be, get in contact with us at the link on our channel.